Welcome to CatRoom.
Welcome to CatRoom.
We're joined.
This is the 5th episode.
Yeah.
And today we are joined by
NOVAGANG.
NOVAGANG. We got Prblm.
Yeah.
We got Zephrxd.
Zephyr.
We got Steph.
We'll put the
Stefxstefani.
names on top of them.
Yeah.
On their heads. So, we're gonna talk about some cool shit. You guys got a show today.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Y'all excited for that shit?
Very excited.
Excited and a little nervous.
Yeah, nah. It's definitely a set I prepared for, and I'm ready to perform that jump.
Is this y'all's first show in Miami?
Yeah.
It's first time in
It's
Miami.
fire.
We did a show in Orlando with Deontay. It was chill.
We got questions for y'all, of course.
Yeah.
And honestly, Isma, I do have a question for you though, because I never knew when you started making music. How long has it been?
So I've been making music since when I first attempted making music. I was 12. You know,
Right.
I'm 21 now, turning 22. But when I got into music was 2016.
Damn, you've been in it for a minute.
Yeah. And I started off making Witch House and Witch House and like cloud rap beats,
Type shit.
like stuff like that, like that era of music.
Mm-hmm.
You said 2016?
Yeah, 2016.
I was
I was listening to in 2014. I was listening to it, but
2016, I was like in 7th grade.
no,
Yeah.
In 2016, I was a hot load.
yeah, I'm on con.
You're unk, man.
Yeah,
Damn.
Number one unk. And you too, 2016 as well or no?
Deadass 2016, the same.
For real? You too?
Making music, 2016-ish, 2014.
Wow.
Yeah, because I started on GarageBand, the app, and I was just playing around with loops and shit. And then probably like around, like 2014 or 2015, the GarageBand, and then 2016, I learned FL Studio. That's when I started doing like video game flips and shit. That's what I would start with, like the meme rap.
So Zeph,
Yeah.
you're from California,
Yeah.
but you live in Maryland right now.
Yeah, I'm originally from Southern Cal, like San Diego, California, and then I moved to Moco, Maryland. That's where I moved to, Montgomery County.
So what would you rather? Would you rather Maryland or California? Like if you were to pick.
I used to really want to go back to Cali, and I still love Cali, but I've been in Maryland too long, and I love the DMV. The DMV scene, everybody from there.
And the skate parks. Are they fire?
Not the skate parks.
Really? Fuck.
I can't bash them. Hey,
So
shout out
great.
Chainhill.
Do you even like the Miami skateboard?
I loved it.
Bro, that shit was fire.
That shit was
You don't,
amazing.
what, you
No,
don't
'cause
like
it's
Lot
like-
11?
I will say it was a little bit too smooth. I don't like how smooth it is.
Yeah.
Put a picture of dusty ass Lot
Yeah,
11.
that shit
I would,
flipping.
you would assume like skating in Washington D.C. is the experience. I'm not a skater.
Nah,
No,
it is.
bro, I've
Yeah.
been there. Oh my god, it's like it looks like it looks so fire for skating. Like,
You get the best of both worlds. Where you get the East Coast kind of grittiness in some areas with the kind of like West Coast smoothness and like
Right.
texture in some areas.
Yeah, exactly.
And also to give some context to the viewers out there, we actually, all of us actually went to Lot 11 before this interview, which was a really fun experience.
Y'all.
It was chill.
We had a game of skate.
We play a game of skate.
That shit
We
get
gonna
broken up.
make a little edit.
Yeah.
Hey man, you niggas pussy, man. We put them on the spanky, pull your pants down, cut your
Yeah, nigga, right on. I ain't in my right mind. Been around them hoes, the hoe gets high down. Thought you was the big dog. You a pussy.
K-Town.
Need another pole when I love when you went to the country. Get tired of probably you got hit, bro. You me taking my bounty weight. I'm a twin, left his soul. Turn his brain on airplane mode. Dump his body at the cold. I'm too hot, can't be cold.
Boom.
There you go. All right.
Well,
There was like a little kid that was in the bowl, and bro, he was like the coolest kid.
He was ripping it, bro. Like
Yeah, it was
he
his
looks
10-year-old.
like he's an authentic. He looked like he was authentically from a different era.
He looked like he was from Florida, the 80s. 80s
Yeah,
Florida.
Yeah.
his like even the way he looked, his hair.
it was like
he really wanted
yeah.
to impress us. I was.
Yeah, I told him.
Yeah.
I helped him with his
It's so
kickflip
cool.
and stuff. He's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shout out
whatever. his
10-year-old
name is.
from Lot 11.
Yeah.
Earlier we were talking about intros and how people started making music and stuff like that. So Steph, I actually have a question for you. Can you tell the viewers, can you tell me and Johan about Poppy Panda?
That's the question.
So that was so I've had a lot of names, but that was one of my first names. So I chose the name Poppy Panda because I thought I just like pandas.
Type.
Hey, what about Poppy?
Hey,
so
hey,
you
let me
Poppy.
tell you-
So you
let me tell
Poppy.
you, we in Florida right now, so you know.
They got hella Poppies over here.
Poppy,
Yeah.
Poppy's a staple down here, so.
Yeah.
you know.
Dominican Poppy.
I mean, I should have kept it. But
No key.
No,
no key.
I shouldn't
No
have.
key.
I
Yeah.
shouldn't have. You know, I should have kept it for down here. But
And what about the song about the name?
Yeah, my name is Poppy Panda.
So,
Oh my God, why him?
you know, that song. We're not gonna talk about that song. It's erased from the internet.
Yeah.
It's gone.
It's erased from the internet. You know, you can never find it unless you hack Steph's computer.
No, but in all seriousness, bro, I really fuck with your music. You have so many different genres that you go through, and I really fuck with your rapping style, bro. Like, what song has the best lyrics?
Unreleased, I just did Breath off this album I'm working on, and Adidas. That one that I just recorded like an hour before
Literally
I took
not,
my flight
yeah.
out. That's probably one of my favorite ones I've ever written because it was just like so genuine. Like
Adidas
that was
is
like what I
porn
was
star.
going through, what I felt.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that was really good.
And your influences. What would you say is your number one influence?
I would say I was also gonna say like I noticed that there's a lot of like industrial ass like sounds and just influence in your music.
Yeah. That's one of my biggest inspirations is just like that sound. Like I grew up on like that type of metal, Manson, 9 Inch Nails, Ministry, KMFDM, stuff like that. So I love that like harsh like 80s, 90s like tone.
Yeah.
And that like I draw a lot of comparison between that and like the the hip hop elements too, because I think like there's a bridge there. Like it sounds similar. Like there's something to connect. So I just kind of
Right.
like to merge the two, just because I
Yeah.
like
And I have an artist recommendation for you, Super Chunk. I don't know if you ever heard of them, but
No.
they're not industrial, but they are like very 80s rock, and it's like it has that like a perfect vibe to it, and I'm not gonna lie, like their mixing, people would call it bad, but it's just different, you know, like it's a little reminiscent of how
It's low end.
yeah, it's and the vocals like match, like they sync into the instrumental.
It's
Yeah.
grimy.
Oh my god, and it's so cool.
No,
like
that's good.
I really fuck with that band. They're
Because
pretty niche, and like
And
they're
underground.
old too.
Like,
So I recommend Super Chunk if you listen to them. But like
I would say I
That's
find
fire.
it really cool that clash of like that, you know, the really dark, like hip hop and just all those clashes of all those like influence. Do you think you'll like keep honing in on that really dark sound, or you're gonna go back to something poppy at some point?
yeah.
I think I'm definitely at least right now gonna hone in on that, but I don't think I'll do any one thing forever. I think I'll definitely maybe not grow out of it, but like grow into something else and try to evolve
Yeah.
it at least.
Right.
But that sound is definitely just something that like I think reflects like the mood and like my environment back home and just like how I'm feeling about things, and it just kind of match. You know?
what do you see yourself doing a year from now? Like if you were to choose a different genre, like completely different from what you're doing now, what would it be?
If I could choose like something completely different, I'd probably just hone in on that industrial sound. I'd probably just make like something straight out the 90s or like straight out the 2000s or something, and just go completely digital, or maybe even like something like OK Computer-esque or like Kid A-esque, like Radiohead, something like that, just ambient stuff.
And you go for it.
And while we're talking about influences and just where the sound comes from and whatnot, I was gonna talk about with Zephrxd. I was gonna say I noticed just from your Instagram, your music, your lyrics, from a bunch of sources of your art, I noticed that there's such a like pop culture, like internet like influence and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I was going to ask you, like, back in the day, like, did you like Homestuck?
Oh, that's a hey, shout out my uncle Isaiah. When I was young, I remember he put me on that webcomic, and it wasn't really the story that drew me in to Homestuck. It really was the art and the characters. I really loved the art and the characters in Homestuck, so I really latched on to like that one character, Car Cat. What was it? What's his name? Gamzee? Is that his name? I forgot. But that clown nigga, yeah.
That
I
shit.
fuck
That
with
shit's long.
it.
Yeah.
We
Is,
saw it. It was
is.
longer than the Bible.
It's longer than the Bible.
I wanted
Like
to
20
read it. I wanted to
Yeah.
read it again, but like I said, I didn't get dragged in from the writing. I got dragged in from like the story and like
and it's
how it
it's,
looks,
Yeah,
the
and it's
universe.
also like it's kind of like interactive.
yeah.
So
yeah.
that's just fire. Like
Yeah.
it's so reminiscent of like those websites, you know, back then, and it has so much story to it. It's like
Exactly.
you can really dive deep into
It's
it.
really
Yeah, I love
interesting
it.
that you're into Homestuck because one of the people in K2 that you're actually going to perform alongside later,
Loves Homestuck.
Departed, he
Yeah.
is absolutely
He has a book.
obsessed
He
with-
literally texted me, do I know about Homestuck?
and he has I think it's
He has a book.
yeah, he has like Acts 1 through 3. He has the
Nah,
actual book.
That's crazy.
He's
No,
probably
I'm
gonna show you it.
I'm telling you, one day, like for another show, I definitely want to dress up as a troll, like 100%. I want to be on stage as a troll. I don't care how niggas feel. That shit will be fun as fuck, bruh. I don't care. That shit will be dead
No,
ass fun.
do what you want, bro.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
That
you,
should be fun.
you shouldn't
My
really
skin
care.
is so resistant.
But talk about art and shit, bro. Your art Instagram is so fire, bro.
Mm.
I really fucking
Yeah, Steph, stop
You know, it's
crying.
crazy I'll mention that because I I have so many other accounts, but I keep all of that like really low key. Like I
Yeah.
don't really connect any of them. I don't have them linked in any of my bios or
Mhm.
anything like that.
But yeah, I mean, I saw one of them. I don't know how many you have. How many do you have?
Like two, I have one on Instagram, one on Twitter.
Right,
And I
okay,
have like other
perfect.
ones for like music. Stuff.
Yeah, I follow the one on Instagram.
Yeah.
That's just cool as fuck. I actually like I really fuck with that shit.
Thank you.
And I was actually thinking about like, you know, if I were to like, and going back to that Homestuck conversation, if I were to like think of a job that I could probably, you know, read some Homestuck on and just have it in the background, it'd probably be being a UPS driver. So I was gonna ask if you're still a UPS driver.
I ain't no UPS. I'll be happy if I was a UPS driver, bruh. I'm a fucking. Well, I'm not anymore. I'm about to quit that jump. I'm a fucking. What's it called? Pick off belt dude. And it's a good job, just UPS be on dick. So they be fucking. Like, alright, get off the belt. You gotta do this. And I was like, this is some bullshit. You know, wagey shit.
Mm-hmm.
Ever made a song about UPS?
I bet the song Boxed is definitely inspired to how I felt musically and just being in the warehouse full of boxes.
Mhm.
So that definitely probably inspired it.
I have a question for you, Prblm.
Yeah.
One thing I've noticed in my one-on-one experience with you and just the way that you move in general as an artist, you definitely remind me so much of how SGP was moving, like, in the past, like, 10 years. Like, in the way that he would, you know, sort of explore all of Florida and just, like, hone in on niches and just find and flourish people.
Oh, like how he was in A&R and stuff. Like,
And how he discovered X, he discovered Ski
Yeah.
Master Slum God.
Cause like I definitely I found, so when I found BMG, it was through a repost by Z, because BMG was originally a producer named Giz or Gid, I don't remember. I remember Lorado telling me that, and then or it was Gis or something, and then I remember like I found Muffin Man through y'all, but I was like, I'm gonna try to promote him. And then I found Otto through BMG, and I'm like, there's so many talent going around in Florida.
It's crazy because that is so true, and I think about that a lot. Cause, it changed. My mind got changed one day because we were doing a photo shoot for K2, and we were in downtown, and we came across this homeless man who was singing. And he was just walking by singing, and he stopped for us, and we all just stopped and listened to him sing, and he sang beautifully.
Yeah.
It was amazing, and it really changed my mind. I'm like, I was viewing him, and he was telling us to keep going. He was like, I like what y'all doing, keep going, keep doing.
Yeah.
He was just, we have it recorded somewhere, so like he had a whole monologue for like he was spitting facts,
It's like
and he was like
We have it all recorded on camcorder.
yeah, and he
It's
was
actually,
talking about like
crazy.
how like he was talking about corporate shit too, like how they really fucked us up, and it opened my mind. Like there's so much talent, and you gotta realize that like anyone who you meet someone, hey, I do music, I like being interested in that person and like really seeing what they got going on. It's like they're talented as fuck. Most people who are really put their soul into music are talented as fuck.
we talk about this.
Honestly,
all
They
the
got their
time.
soul in that shit.
Like deadass,
fuck with that.
I believe like everyone, like every single person who enters music has the ability to make some like crazy shit tuned to their own uniqueness
And-
within their
and,
own life.
like
and
they're
shit.
like from like an emotional standpoint, like we literally talk about like 90s early 2000s music, because like bro, the way they made R&B back then was so like Alicia Keys. What's the song like? You don't know my name. Is it?
Yeah.
Is it
Yeah.
how it goes?
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
it's You Don't Know My Name.
How does she, like in Ashanti would sing a certain way, like they would all sing a certain way and like flow a certain way and double their vocals a certain way. I don't know if it was like the studio that they're in, but they put their entire energy and soul
Literally,
into
a
it.
lot of the like records back then, like people was like
The
really
writing
putting
was not
everything into it.
cheesy at all. It was
Yeah.
very like subtle.
And I really love that. Like it gives me so much warmth in my heart.
Yeah.
And human connection is something to be cherished. You know, when you open the door for someone and y'all, you know, you give your little exchange. Oh, thank you. You know, have a good one. That like I be thinking about interactions like that all the time. Like even small interactions. Like it's such heartfelt warm connections.
Humans have such an ability to just like send energies to one another too, and that really transfers through art, because one of my favorite things to view as an artist, and you really notice this when you start creating, is that the strangest like and most niche influences will transfer from one end of the spectrum to the other, like fashion to music.
Right.
You know,
All art
like,
is connected.
like being like having that unrestricted access to the internet will like make you like more of a digital sound, or make you really hone in on something.
I could look at like some random like type of architecture in Chicago and see an ambient song that could be related to it, or an outfit that could fit that.
And,
Same
and,
thing with like fucking anything like a dish, like a nice
yes.
plate of food.
And I believe heavily, if you make art, I believe that you can do any art you want.
Yeah.
And if you ever have writer's block, try a different art form. There's so many different art forms. Right now I'm honing into film a little bit more. I was cooking with music for a bit, and I haven't released yet, which is like that's my strife right there. Like I need to release.
That's my strife too.
Yes, and I'm just like, okay, if I'm gonna be really into this, then I'm gonna dedicate my life to all arts. And me and Migs cook too. We're in culinary. I see that as a form of art as well.
Yeah.
You know, that's creativity right there. Anything with creativity, I want to put my all into. Alex?
He's Joey's friend. He does culinary.
Yeah, he told me about him.
Yeah, we know about Alex.
So
which we're kind of that, to give context to what Alex is. Alex used to have these dinners and host people. Me and Johan kind of do that. Like we had Friendsgiving.
Oh my god!
And
oh my god!
on fire! Oh my gosh! And I want to tell all three of you guys, because I don't believe you guys were there for that Friendsgiving. It was last year. Oh, I know you two, but I'm thinking about Ethan was there.
No, I was there.
I was gonna say, if you happen to be in Miami in November, like all three of you are completely invited to join me for our Friendsgiving. It was honestly like, it was so delicious. It was sort of a potluck situation. People brought dishes, but man, I made like. No, not to toot my own horn. I made the best turkey I've ever tasted.
Yeah. And I made the best this tavern bread. Like, this shit came straight from D&D, bro. Like,
tavern bread?
Yeah, bro.
And I'll get a full character, I'll get the cloak on.
It had little pieces of melted chocolate and shit.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Chill.
Speaking about art, I think about, like, one of the main, like, focuses and, like, one of the main, like, things I really try to prod at and see how it affects certain things is fashion. And I wanted to ask you, Steph, I wanted to ask you what you thought about biker fashion. I want like your Harley Davidson. I wanted to ask what you felt about that.
Like my Harley Davidson, like the boots, or like the Harley Davidson bike?
Like the Harley Davidson boots, the bikes, the
jackets.
What do you feel about Harley Davidson?
Well, I like them as a brand, actually. I'll never ride a motorcycle, because like I'll die probably.
Yeah,
but the boots,
that's just so cool.
That's
That's just so cool, man.
Yeah, no, it's cool, but I'll probably die. But the boots, the fashion, all that, I've always thought that was like
the leather jacket.
Really cool.
Exactly.
Yeah, the leather jackets, but I don't think it's
the same.
For me, it's not even Harley like itself. It's just like the leather and the fabrics themselves. Like the leather is rubbers and PVC and latex and stuff like that, like just like and like that dark, like just shiny stuff is something like I'm really into, and
I think we can see like all the similarities and everything we're talking about. It's a human like need to poke and prod and get into things, and everything, you know, has like so much plot and like so much lore, you know, and especially with that, and they all have certain vibes, and like people spend their lives honing into things because it's it really taps into a part of your brain like, damn, this vibe is so cool. Like especially me, like I really take so much inspiration from my dreams because I have vivid dreams every night.
Like a passionate feel.
Yes,
like,
I have
something you resonate
right.
with. Like,
And I just like my dreams are hella liminal and hella weird and shit, and like I'm so like I get so inspired by that, you know.
Yeah.
And even stuff as small as like I don't know, even stuff as small as just like walking through your neighborhood, like you can infinitely just like find inspiration in your neighborhood.
That's why like sometimes if you get overwhelmed with like the world of art and like how like shit is presented, how you're taking it from other people, just kind of like isolate yourself, take a step back from like, you know, the whole process of it and just indulge in like, you know, the natural art of the world and shit. You getting just crazy inspiration off of that.
I actually feel that heavy.
Yeah. That's why sometimes like if I'm really blown with shit, I'm not making anything I really love, I'll just go skate alone just in the city, either at night or just like in the morning or on a lonely day, and just see random inspirations like fucking people's dialogues and like
sometimes it could literally influence your music and it can influence like your philosophy on life. Like
that reminds me a lot of this musician what's his name, Takanaka.
Yes,
the guitar
Masayoshi
Takanaka. He, one of the things he did for like different studio albums he had is that he would just go to a different part of the world and make
he went to Brazil.
different
Oh my god, that album is fire.
He went to Brazil and made an album called Brazilian Skies, and the whole album has such a beachy sound. Has nothing.
That's like the best way if you want to like really pay homage to like what you're trying to go to. Like if you wanted to make a crazy ass fucking Japanese album, bro, like go to Japan, like if you can, like go to Japan, indulge in the culture, learn different people's forms of like arts and shit. You will get the most crazy Japanese album off of that. Like,
like a lot of people like they really doubt how important it is to like to just go to your setting, to go to places that you don't normally go to places that don't have distractions. Like
literally.
That forest I was talking about, the H3 forest, I went there not too long ago with my girlfriend, and I wanted to kind of journal. I wanted to film myself talking because I have a lot of doubts, and and like me personally, like I'm a Christian, so like I have doubts about God all the time, you know. And I was speaking to the camera, telling myself, you know, telling the trees around me, telling God that like I have these doubts, you know, and Andrew and my girlfriend was there next to me. She was, you know, she was guiding me through it, you know, because I mean I look up to her for spiritual and religious I guess fulfillment, you know. So and I like that's really important, going to places that are free from distractions. That's why I want to go to like Northern Europe countries like Sweden, Turkey, like the Netherlands, because it's just fields and like prairies, and it's so beautiful there, you know.
I think about like how crazy the influence of music is. Like some people do, you know how people travel for business with a lot of other stuff. I think like I was having a conversation about how like it's so crazy that things are extracted from other things and then broken down. Like I'm pretty sure, I don't know if I'm correct, but reggae came before Afrobeat.
Of course, yeah. Reggae came way before Afrobeat.
And then Afrobeat came before reggaeton. Like,
and then I think ska was in between reggae and Afrobeat.
And it's like everything could be extracted from something, like just the feeling that like drums can give you. Like, I was listening, like there's a underground singer. Her name is, she's from France. Her name is Oclo. I don't know how to pronounce it. Like it's pop it up on the screen.
Right.
And they have another account called Avro 32. Oh no, Avro 23. And like Avro 23, and it's like a lot of, it sounds like 70s 80s R&B, and then it sounds like, and then sometimes it sounds like African music, like literally.
Oh, we gotta show you another song too. Oh my god.
That reminds me, like what you're talking about. I saw this Dave Grohl interview, talking about how he was always gets praised for like his drumming on Nirvana.
Yeah.
But he said that he got all of his drumming from old funk bands.
That's fun.
And he got like many of his drum patterns. In fact, like the one on Teen Spirit is literally like from a drum break of a jazz song back in the day.
Oh,
and,
damn.
And it's like
that's kind of like the music fusion, like.
There's this song that I want to show you guys after this. It's called Water No Get Enemy, and
oh my gosh, that's
it's
like
a 12-minute song, but like when you sit through it and then because like the first few minutes, like the first 5 minutes I'd say is instrumental, and then the main singer starts singing. Oh my god, that song is awesome.
That song is beautiful. We'll listen to it on the way to the B&B. Actually,
we listen to that shit all the time.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
You know, people do travel to write stories the whole time. Like, Monster, they definitely studied Germany, but they didn't study Germany back then. But people do their research to tell stories, and I think that's what's so crazy is that sometimes you don't even have to go to a particular location. There's a point in life, like being in a vulnerable situation could make you want to make art and like just create themes and stuff. Like some people look at like death or like friendships that they lost or like relationships, or look at even like the most creative people on earth, children. Like childlike wonder is like purity. So like when you reach that sense of pureness, like feeling like a kid again, that nostalgia is inspiring everybody.
Bro,
right now.
nostalgia. Why do you think I'm so honed in on my dreams?
Yeah.
You know, like 50-60% of my dreams. This is like I've been in this house for like 2-3 years.
Yeah.
My old house, I was there 80% of my life. 60% of my dreams are in that house.
Damn. Yeah.
Nostalgia lives and
that's
like
exactly what I'm saying.
Oh my, and I love nostalgia. Like I'm not sad or anything. I mean, I visit over there, like, cause obviously it's near, it's on Kendall, but I visit over there sometimes, and I really like the fact that you brought that up. I love nostalgia. That's like my number one.
Yeah.
Like my
we
number
always
one
go back to it.
Yes.
Either no matter what. Like,
yeah.
Fashion is literally going back to it. Sometimes it's a little bit
So it's
commercialized.
always, a little cycle loop.
And we saw like our parents like being nostalgic over like 80s music and like rollerblading and shit like that.
Passionate about
and you saw it, you're like, damn,
past.
like they really like they stick on nostalgia and like what the best times of their lives were, and I resonate with that, and I hope that we all have nostalgia for the rest of our lives. I hope that we all have
some people. I hope people don't get too caught up into it though.
Yeah.
Right, into the past. I'm saying like we have nostalgia of even a year ago. Like we all keep growing with the nostalgia of our whole life.
I was gonna mention that. Speaking of nostalgia, I imagine you guys being NOVAGANG and working on your third tape. I can imagine that you guys probably definitely have. You imagine that you definitely have nostalgia about making the first two, right?
Anytime I get like, sometimes I'll just be in a rut. I'll get like either like I come off of work, smoke a little bit, put on the first tape. It transport me exactly back to 2021, being in VC, first join of fucking scared. I'm just putting hella songs in. Yeah. Fucking doing everything I can artistically to try to live up to Nova for that first tape, and then also just having fun with the production of that. Same with the second tape too.
Speaking of Volume 1, I was going to ask you what the song "Neighbors" was about.
Neighbors?
Cause that's.
Yeah. You guys, I heard you guys hyping it up and that shit is fun.
Yeah, like, freaking a lot. Like it's crazy that like a lot of my bigger songs have a lot more meaning than I give them credit to. Cause I'd be scared that I'd be putting bad energy into my music, into the ethos. But like Neighbors is about kind of like the struggle of putting up an image that I'm not, basically sending out an image into the world that like I'm not, and same with other artists. So the main hook is please look to your neighbors, like look what's around you and
look what influences you. Look what makes you
like I'm in a fucking suburban, bro. Why am I rapping about killing some niggas?
We talked about so many things on the album before we released it that like if we ever got interviewed or like put on Genius or something, like we could explain that like some of it was post-ironic. Like it was like insisting like we knew it insisted upon itself, but we knew that we did it to say that like it's projection.
Yeah,
Right.
literally.
Because a
That's
lot of
better
it
way
is.
putting it too.
That's why motherfuckers used to be so hooked on like cap rap. 'Cause, like, everyone would be like,
That's why
you a cap
like
rapper, man."
capitalists.
If you actually read the lyrics, he's literally saying he don't do it.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
don't do
True.
any of the
And
things
you,
he's saying.
and I admire you for that. You know why? Because not cap rapping is you're
Humble.
limiting yourself
Humble
because you
rap.
and it's humble and you're challenging yourself and that makes you in turn more artistic.
Someone I thank a lot for that, besides Problem, because I thank Problem a lot for that,
Yeah.
is Nolan B. Rollin. Nolan B. Rollin is an artist.
I met him. He's so cool.
He's an artist. Like, I remember listening to his lyrics and him saying something.
He's authentic.
Yeah, that would be
Yeah.
kind of like in a group setting considered uncool or just like not something to say in rap. And it's like that inspired me to be like, man, I could really
Rap about
be
it.
myself, talk about my own things without trying to like perpetuate some bad like negative shit or just fucking trying to fake kick it.
Because like people would see him as like a back then, like I remember on the Rise, like they were blowing up. He was blowing up. He was like a rapper, but they thought he was also a funny rapper. But they was like, oh, he's hard as shit, and it was that blend. But like his music to me, like yeah, it's funny, but also it's like he's allowing himself to be funny in music, and I listen to it like seriously.
Yeah.
Because he's not doing it. He's putting jokes here and there, but he's still rapping.
Because he's himself.
And he's his new shit going on. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
It's like in the background when he came down here to Miami.
Yeah.
He's like his mind is actually like in a place where he's very humble. Like
Yeah,
he actually likes working on projects that are very unique and like he's coming up with a lot of whole new ideas. Like shout out Nolan.
Yeah,
Like,
shout out Nolan for real.
he said some crazy lyrics. Like there was what was the song called, man? It was what was it called? Because
One of the recent joints?
nah, it was remember when it was a Berserk lyric. You guys
Yeah,
read
no, I
Berserk?
watched my bitch get fucked in front of me. No, that was BMG's.
No. He
More
said,
the same.
And he said they both. He got inspired by Nolan because of that.
Yeah,
lyric.
yeah.
But Nolan said, "I just seen my bitch get fucked, so I had to go berserk."
Yeah,
That shit was
crazy.
fucking brutal.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's such a crazy ass lyric.
I know, like
It is.
everyone around me has seen Berserk.
Berserk is
and
genuinely
I know that
a
shit's, like,
wonderful,
crazy.
wonderful story. I was gonna say, we were talking about not cap rapping and just like the truest form of self-expression you can really do. Since you guys are down here, one of the things that since everybody's wearing shorter clothes here, shorts and whatnot, I would say a form of expression that you see maybe more often down here is just tattoos in general.
Yeah.
People paint, their story of their life and their experiences on their body and whatnot.
I have the Smash Brothers. Just put a picture
The master
there. 'Cause
hand.
The master hand, and then like.
Yeah,
I'm
this
gonna
is
get this
a-
one touched up.
The master hand is fire. by
This
the way.
one, my tats are pretty like minimal. This one's just from Evangelion. I really just thought the frame of it was cool, so I was like, I'm gonna get that tatted, and I was young. But my mom did it, so that's why it means a lot more to me.
That's
so,
awesome.
Yeah, but yeah, a lot of the tattoos that I want to get in the future that mean to me is like, it's not no story like a cool dragon I met on a highway fighting a fucking bear. It was a fucking. I just want all video game shit. Like I just want like the Marcus Shame right here, fucking that Arbiter has in Halo.
My tattoo inspiration is my boy locked up, 00, but he's turned into trauma.
Free trauma.
He has
for real.
tattoos.
In the
Oh, yeah, I do
I
see
noticed.
that.
I noticed at the skate park that you had some tattoos, and I was gonna ask you guys what you thought of certain trends that are coming up recently, like neo-tribal, cyber sigilism. I feel like honestly, it's such a fad, and I was honestly wondering what you.
I
guys
ain't gonna
thought.
lie. I'm not too deep into the tattoo world, so like if I see a cool tattoo, it's kind of cool to be.
Me
I ain't
and
gonna lie.
Steph.
What do you think of?
They-
I think I get too I think I get too pretentious about it sometimes.
But it's like,
Yeah, no,
free to-
like it's like you kind of see cycles repeat themselves, like trends over and over again. Like to me, it reminds me of a lot of like how tribal was, and I think tribal is cool, but I also think
it was
like
sacred.
no, not even like
Talking about the
you know,
the
like,
barbed
yeah,
wire ones
like the
that
tribal,
everyone
you
got
see,
here. Yeah.
like the flames and all that. Like it's cool, but I think like an oversaturation of anything is like it leaves like a bad taste in your
it's
mouth.
like-
I
It's
see exactly what you're talking
Yeah,
about.
it's like hollow, like getting tattoos just to look like you got tattoos. Is like it gives like hollow tattoos.
Yeah,
Yeah, and another thing about a lot of fads that start, I noticed that, and this happens with all forms of art, like music too. It will be like in a vacuum. I think so many trends like are cool by themselves, but I feel like it takes away so much credit from the original artist when a style is just like oversaturated and put to the forefront.
Yeah.
And I really wonder where neo-tribal or cyber-sigillism like came from.
Like, cause there's a lot of people like, there's an Instagram account. It's named Gate. I think Gate was like, there was a lot of Euro tatting. We used to genuinely call it Euro tats when we first saw it, because it was like is Sexist even, she did tats?
Yeah.
And I'm thinking like, is she from Europe? Because the style was like, we first seen the style 2020.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
And it's very like, is homogenous the right word? It's like a very like homogenized style, almost like there's like everyone kind of does something similar, but like back then, at least at the time, it was kind of like different, if that makes sense. Like it reminded me a lot of like if you open like one of Da Vinci's old notebooks, like it looks so like straight out of that, like you just took that and you tatted it straight on the skin.
I love those type of tats. I really want to get one of those.
I can't give away my tat ideas, you know what I'm saying?
I kind of fucked up. I just did that.
Yeah,
I know. I'm gonna get that shit right when I get back, bro.
Get a panic.
Oh my god.
We some gatekeepers. We pretentious sometimes. I'm actually really happy because this interview is so beautiful.
Yeah, it's a nice interview.
It's been a really nice.
Man, I was gonna say I had an idea earlier. I'm glad you guys are here. I'm glad I met you two. And y'all are some cool ass motherfuckers, bro. And like I'm glad to have you guys as friends now. You know.
Yeah.
And you guys, I would love to see you guys come down here more often. You know.
Definitely, bro. I will say like this one is like my first real actual interview, because I remember way back in like 2020 or so.
Yeah.
My dad was just trying to be nice, and he got me on this interview, and it was just the most like,
what was it called?
Old head interview, bro. And like, I was just sitting there trying to defend. I was like,
the Joe Budden moment.
Yeah, I was just like, well, there's actually like some pretty cool sounds coming from the underground, like NOVAGANG and freaking.
Was he like Charlemagne-ing you?
Nah.
Kinda, not really. He was very like,
bro, that shit's
but what do you
crazy
think with rap really going? Like, rap be going in a direction. Do you really agree with that?
Yeah, he was in the Joe Budden thing, like,
you
need to see where it's going.
He wasn't getting loud. It was just a fruitless debate, bro. Like,
and you were like, man, I'm young as shit.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know why you interviewed me.
I
just started, bro.
Y'all been
this interview fine because we agreeing on everything. Let's start getting controversial.
What's your favorite color?
Origins of Nova.
What's your favorite color? Red or blue?
If it ain't burgundy,
red
fuck
pill or
out.
blue pill?
So is it hyperpop or is it digicore?
It's hyperpop. It's hyperpop.
We got controversial.
We gonna get that's too long.
Are we hyperpop?
Yeah. You guys are. Yeah.
That's sad. That's the black pill. We hyperpop.
You guys are hyperpop, and everybody we should.
I actually said this.
I'm gonna say cause you know I've known NOVAGANG before I was in it, and I've seen them as a viewer. I would say like that whole era, there's like a distinct difference between hyperpop and digicore. Niggas don't want to agree, but I hear a distinct difference, and I feel like early Nova digicore, like really? From what I've heard.
I had a question for you, Steph. What is an NGTV?
Oh, NOVAGANG television. Sorry, MTV parody, because we like that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I also wanted to say, I know we on a different topic, but going back to that last topic.
Oh Lord.
How is it? Like they call NOVAGANG hyperpop, right? Right. When they heard True Hollis come out, they just said it was electronic. We be rapping. He do make electronic music. I don't think his music is hyperpop. I think there's a lot of hyperpop was just electronic music, but NOVAGANG was called hyperpop, and like I'm not gonna lie, a lot of things he made is very similar to things back then, because he used to have that fusion back then. Like back in the day, he used to have this medieval aesthetic. Shout out to him.
You see, music kind of like science nowadays. Like you really like motherfuckers just be changing up the names of shit, and they just be finding new shit, and they're like,
honestly, that's
wait, so this is that now.
Yeah, that's like the play.
Yeah, like
of it,
they
though.
they now are starting calling things electronic, but
But
they call
that's
this hyper
that's
pop.
that's
No,
the
that-
human need to categorize.
That is a real plague though, because a lot of times people are really focused on the label you put something under rather than if it
they
sounds
really
good or not.
want to find out like what label they can
get the
put on
electronic
it.
music.
I
I saw it
find-
on Twitter.
I find that the band, like our band in K2, Ladybug, gets really faces a lot of adversity with that too, because a lot of shows that they might go on, like, you know, in Miami, the scene here, it's like you go to a punk show, you go to an indie show, you know what I mean?
Literally.
So
Yeah.
so they'll go and then they'll be like, oh, we have our punk band Ladybug, and they're like, like we're not really punk.
Yeah,
And then it's like, oh, so you guys are indie, and it's like,
That's the-
not
yeah,
really.
that's the
Yeah,
problem
it's
with
like
them,
that's
Like,
why you
start
gotta be
listening to
the,
everything, and
you
then
gotta
it
be
won't
the
be a problem.
loudest. That's why interviews are important because you gotta be like the loudest voice to whatever. Because the thing about us, bro, it's gonna sound really corny, but like a lot of times we're just experimental rap. That's really
No,
what
yeah.
it is.
That's
Like,
Yeah,
genuinely.
I think
It
it's good
should-
to just
like
put like cause all y'all do different shit. You know?
because there's 70s rock, there's 80s rock, there's 90s rock. Why can't we be 2000s? Like 2020s
2020s
experimental rap.
well people can
Yeah.
only when in the present people only look back at like eras like
Because there's like so many eras of rock.
yeah, but people look
Because
back at eras like
motherfuckers not
after the
nostalgic
era, like,
about
that's-
last year. They're
yeah.
not nostalgic about last year. They're
Yeah, they will-
nostalgic about like 10 years ago.
They'll call that shit something core. They don't call that shit.
Yeah, they call it
this.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
No, but I'm so on the fence with that core shit because like I fuck with it. And
Yeah.
there's so many
No,
cores
but that's been the
people-
thing. That's been the thing for so long.
Yeah,
Yeah.
of course. It's been a thing since like 2017.
That's like early internet.
Yo, I'm in an interview.
Was that Trauma?
Yeah, strong.
You ruining it.
No, Trauma making
Double
it better. Yo, Double O, what's good, bruh?
We had the Nova Gang. We're on an interview. Say hi.
Hi.
Yo, what's good?
Bro.
Yo, you're for real right now?
Yeah, we're in a
Yeah,
whole
we're
studio
in-
doing the interview. That's Double O.
Double O, what you gotta say to the youth?
What do you guys say to the youth? That's our interviewer.
Oh shit, what's good?
That's good. My name is Migs. You're on CatRoom. CatRoom is the name of the show.
Hey, bro. My name's Johan, bro. We both interviewers. We a duo type shit, and we really fuck with you, even though we just met you.
We're actually like dead ass in the interview.
Likewise, man. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's cool as shit.
Yeah, Northern Virginia. That's what Nova mean. Nah, I'm playing.
Nah, shout out LT for real.
I just had to pick up the call because this guy is important.
Oh God.
He, it's like him. Shout out him and Casper. We got connected to the New York underground, and got connected to a lot of people in Virginia. You know, free Double O.
Oh God.
Free Double O.
I've been calling. Well, yeah, Trauma been calling me for like the past summer, bro. That nigga been my big brother for real.
Yeah, bro.
I'ma catch you, man. Shout out NOVAGANG and all that shit there.
Shout out Loser
Yes,
Table.
sir,
Shout out
ski.
Loser
Loser table.
Shout out
LTNG.
Shout out Mark Bruce.
Shout out Double O.
Pentagram. Shout out Trip Dixon.
Yeah. Shout out Pat.
They gotta bleep me. They gotta bleep me out.
Alright, man. I'ma catch you.
Alright. Shout out Chain Hill.
Safety.
Oh, who else?
So what were we talking about before?
We just broke the fourth
Well,
wall.
actually,
Yeah.
we were saying something really interesting earlier about like the human need to categorize and like
Yeah, exactly.
like y'all
Yeah,
were
it's
gonna
mentioning
be
like
for real.
genres and the hyperpop and all that, and like, you know, in my head it's just like, you know, I think that's stupid just because like
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
like, I don't know, like
Right, 'cause that's
at
what
least
this is
me,
the
like I don't think
That's
any
what you have to do. You can't
musician,
exactly
and I think
call
y'all
it.
are musicians too, so I
Actually.
think y'all understand
That's
it,
facts.
because y'all were mentioning earlier too, like go into something thinking like, oh, I want to like make this, like I'm trying to
Yeah.
make like a hip hop song, or I'm trying to make like, or even more specifically, like I'm trying to make like
Yeah.
a hyper pop
And
song.
you know what
like,
sucks? I feel
I
like.
I
Oh,
mean,
yeah.
sorry to cut you
Yeah,
off, but
yeah.
I mean, I think it's good to take inspiration.
Yeah.
But like when you're trying to make something like, there was only one song that I was trying to make, and it was like a certain artist, and like I didn't fuck with it, and I was like, I know why I don't fuck with it, because it's not me. Like,
Yeah.
sure, it has some elements of me.
I was going
but,
to say,
yeah.
I do understand that when you're really trying to copy someone or copy a certain style,
Yeah.
it kind of comes out
Yeah.
soulless. Which,
Yeah.
oh god, I'm in a tangent
Yeah,
right now.
Super
But I was
tangent.
Go off.
I was gonna say that, dude. the biggest
Got it.
example of that I've noticed is like, man, I love working on Dying so much. Like I love working on Dying so
Yeah.
much, but sometimes like the recent like way that they've just put Benny X on projects and then kind of almost made bro like it feels like they've made him like try to have a certain sound with certain artists and it kind of like. Man, I love so much Benny X, but sometimes it feels like with those really corporate,
Yeah,
like label curated projects,
It don't
it sounds
work like
really.
that anymore.
That's why I like
it
when you
sounds
produce for
soulless.
yourself.
Yeah.
Then you start producing for
Because
yourself.
it's like one thing I noticed when you're trying to appeal to like a mass, you start to get conservative about your style. Because Benny X is crazy.
Yeah, he really is.
Like people hate on him.
I love
but
Benny X.
I noticed that like if you keep making the same style, like bass line that he does, like the same thing. I'm pretty sure he's been around for a minute. He's been around Lucid Monday, Dilla, Oswell, like just really cool people. Like, but I get what you're saying. Like, although I don't listen to a lot of projects with Benny X on it lately, but I do watch some of his streams. But gatekeeping. So, no, I'm not gatekeeping. Watch his streams.
Oh my god.
He be on Twitch.
Gatekeep everything. Bro.
No, I'm not gatekeeping.
Yeah, I can't have shit. Come on.
Nah, but
Yeah,
he's fine.
we keeping this episode to ourselves. Bro. We're not releasing it.
I didn't release it.
This entire section is gonna be
The tape is not even gonna drop.
Yeah, you have to subscribe to the Patreon if you want to see
Oh,
this part
no.
of the episode. Matter of fact, this is our today's sponsor, Nebula.
So we've been joined by Curiosity Stream, Grow Your Mind, and
Well, actually, wait.
Better help.
Is the screen glitching right now? You got a Surfshark subscription. You actually be able to watch this video.
Raid Shadow Legend.
Am I looking a little scruffy today?
we're sponsored by Honey. So if you want to get discounts,
Dude, why-
Wait, actually, I know the one sponsor we actually do have today. Isma, lift your shirt. We're sponsored by K2.
get up.
Oh,
Show them the K2
shout
belt.
out Blaze.
Damn,
I gotta get y'all some
Today we're-
K2 belt.
Thank you to
man.
our sponsor K2. Today we were sponsored by the K2 belt. If you're coming to the show tonight, which is not gonna be tonight when this comes out, please.
If you came to the show already,
Yeah.
let us know how it went.
Instagram Reels.
Sirski.
Yes.
I want to see.
Where were we talking?
We were talking about when you try to copy an artist that ends up being soulless, which I was going to say.
Yeah, like
on
when you
the
get conservative about your style.
On the
You're done,
contrary,
you're
when
done.
you are seriously inspired by a genre and specifically a certain artist, you're never going to completely replicate them, but you
Yeah.
might make some other third option, which sounds
Yeah.
really fusion.
Bruh. I'm telling you, like, a lot of my progression with music, bruh, is like, I first hear something crazy, like the Detroit sound right now. Freaking, I heard, AK Banamont. I was like, this shit is insane. What the fuck? I love this shit. I love the fast rapping because I'm from Cali. I like that upbeat shit. I want to try to do some crazy shit. So then I made a song with Def. Freaking
Def 95K.
yeah, and he goes crazy. He does like some crazy dark, damn near industrial sounds in this shit.
Bro.
So that's already another element to it.
That's
And now,
exactly what I want.
yeah, those two
Like,
inspirations.
not that I'm saying like I'm on like really combining shit. Like I
Yeah.
get inspired by so much. There's this one song that I'm making that I'm inspired by like I was inspired by vocals off of 808s and Heartbreak. And you know the vocals at the end of what's it called? Oh my god, the 9 minute song, the ding
Runaway.
Runaway.
Yeah.
Yes. I was inspired by the vocals at the end of Runaway and the 808 and Heartbreak drums too, like them tribal ass drums. And I was also inspired by like this movie. I don't know if you guys heard it. You guys should watch it. It's like it's this old ass 80s like dark fantasy movie. It's called The Dark Crystal.
Oh yeah, no, I love that.
Bro, that movie's fire.
Nah, Johan
it's so
and y'all
weird, though.
love,
I
you
may
love
be
the
like
same movies.
the one person who doesn't like the movie.
Really?
I don't.
It
like
does
the
it creep
movie.
you out?
No, it's not that.
It's just-
like I think it's beautiful, but like at the same time,
He's a movie critic.
it's like that.
It's
I don't like
Howdy.
the movie.
It's just corny.
But I don't know.
Yeah.
No,
It's like 80s cheesy type shit,
Yeah,
right?
it is.
No, yeah, because it's
Yeah, no,
like so. It's honestly it's terribly made.
No, literally, like,
but that's
so
I
80s.
honestly like. That's what I like about it. Like
No, I-
That's why I like the
Yeah.
Breakfast.
That's
Club.
how it is with.
But
Horror
that
movies,
but
yeah.
like it I just had like I had the
Breakfast Club is.
I was just making some
movie
mysterious
podcast.
ass like
Literally.
that type
Yeah.
of like the best part of that movie, you know.
Yeah.
And the lyrics are a little bit about the movie, like as if I was in the movie, but they're also about about me and like, you know, about my search for wisdom and shit like that.
Yeah.
But
It's like,
but that's exactly.
bro. That's how I feel about Good Will Hunting, and it's a overrated movie. But like when I watch Good Will Hunting, I was like, this shit is about empathy.
Yeah.
And that's how I feel. Like,
Yeah, but back on that, like, freaking, like, artist inspiration, that's one cool thing about, like,
icebreaker.
genuinely any fucking artist that you can find, bro, is, like, you won't notice their inspirations at first. You will think that they're, like, genuinely the most unique, which they are usually. They're the most genuinely unique nigga ever. But then you break that, like, you start to talk to them, get to know what they like, their experiences, and you get to see their clear inspirations and how that built together. That's like the most fire shit. Like you look at interviews and see what a nigga was inspired by.
Yeah.
That shit will really.
And that's just
at
like
the same time, which I've noticed this with some of my music too. Like, bro, I grew up in Florida and stuff like that. Bro, tell me why. Like, sometimes I'll make a song and I'll be like, damn, this sounds crazy. Like, I never heard something like this before. But you send it to someone, they go, I send it to someone, I'm like, damn, were you inspired by B.O.B. Kosher? And I look back and I'm like, wait,
Yeah.
I
sound like
sometimes
I'm
that.
like, wait, I'll be like, I sound Florida as fuck.
Yeah.
And then I realized I was inspired by that shit. You know?
That's what I'm saying. Sometimes like it could come off like when someone like immediately either fucks up with your inspiration, it could come off so annoying. Like you're like,
well, I'm not like that.
it's like, all right, I made a song that sounds like fucking, let's say, Blade or some shit. Niggas be like, you sound like Nav. I'm like, nigga,
oh my.
where?
No, but that's crazy.
And then
that sound like
yeah.
Young Boy.
But then
all the
if
time, Young Boy.
a nigga come around and says like, oh, this shit sounds like Blade, this project, that genuinely makes me happy because like, oh, you found what I found in that project and why I made it.
I will say though, and this might change the way you view this a little bit, because I used to be just as annoyed when someone would tell me I sounded a certain way, but sometimes I would like and that I really didn't want to sound like.
Yeah.
But then I thought about it, and it's like thought about how we consume art as people. It's like, you know, really the only reason someone would compare you to someone is because that's how they resonated with it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like,
And
That
it's like
shit, no, that's really
it's
shit.
most likely
Oh,
they like that artist.
if you made something,
That shit just changed my
Tap
whole
them up.
That shit just changed my whole outlook on how other niggas came about me and my music. What
If
the
someone,
fuck?
think about it, that person that told
Oh,
you,
my
that person that told you you sound like Nav, that means at some point they were hearing Nav and they were in that mood. You know what I mean? You
That's crazy.
You know
Fuck
you
with
know
you.
what
Because
Nah.
you know they fuck with that artist when
They're
they
going
bring
to
it
their
up.
closest artist that
Yeah.
made them
Yes,
feel like
exactly.
that.
It's like you know when you heard myself for the first time, you're like, fuck. And it's like that means they heard that Zephrxd song and they were like, this gives me that vibe I felt when I heard that.
Damn,
one
nigga,
song.
I gotta go back and dap up the
And
niggas.
that-
I'm like, hey,
and-
bro,
and
I'm
that's
sorry.
what- that's
I tweaked
what-
out.
And that's what I'm
Yeah.
talking about. Music, like how I said that human connection is so important and
Yeah.
so heartwarming. Same thing with music. When people listen to your music, when people watch the podcast and people like that, you don't even need to like talk to us. Like the fact that you watching a podcast, it's like you're listening to
interested.
a conversation. You're listening to human
You're
connection
interested.
as we speak.
Yeah.
Another.
And it's awesome. That's so amazing to me.
Yeah, all that applies. But you know, I did a song recently. Someone told me I sound like. I just want to kill myself.
Oh.
Now you're fucking.
Oh, so basically, do you connect to them as much as
They're like, I'm like, oh.
yeah.
But the thing is, what about if it was an insult? What
No.
if it wasn't a connection?
No. If it,
No. I'm not
they're
talking about.
trying to
I'm not
insult
talking
me.
about your situation. I'm saying like, should we always look at it in such a humbling?
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
sometimes
because
you
there's
could
literally
read
there is no negative effect to taking that as a compliment.
No.
Yeah.
I'm saying like, what if some people say it to be like, oh, this shit is ass. It sounds like.
Then you can't sit
I don't
down
think-
to their.
Yeah,
their
but
fucking-
there's
No,
not
their
many-
fucking
because that's gonna
frequency.
happen. Sometimes
Yeah,
somebody
yeah,
will hear.
There's not that many people.
Somebody
like
will
that.
hear like you doing a different type of singing that they've never heard before and be
Yeah.
like, "Oh, this sounds like Ice JJ Fish." That's because your shit sounds like how they heard Ice JJ Fish.
That's why you get
that's
people.
what I'm saying.
That's why you get people who are completely tapped out of the underground scene hear like an Osama song and be like, and then they hear Netspan and then they hear Yapo JJ, and to us that's like, oh, these are three completely different people. But to them they're like, what, did you just play the fucking same artist 3 times?
Yeah.
That actually happened to me
wow.
like 2 weeks ago.
That's
I was
crazy.
trying to put one of my boys on like underground rap, and then they were like, I swear to God, it's the same musician 3 times.
Nah, the same voice.
Because
No, it's not like that.
you know that because people block
Fucked
people
up.
like people block their minds out of things because I don't know, a lot of people like to argue and it's just like people go into a lot of people go into things. I think this is like such like this flaw in humans is like really this
Oh no.
this flaw in humans is so
You're gonna be in trouble.
important
So
to
white.
recognize.
White boys,
and
music.
the flaw is like not liking something before you even got into it.
Mm.
Yeah.
Hey, bro, let's watch this movie. Well, what's the movie? Oh, no. Damn, bro, I'm probably not gonna like that shit though.
Like that one.
Sit in the movie theater. Oh my god,
Honestly.
this shit's so boring. Like,
Cause like
get
there's
into the-
a big
They
chance.
convince themselves that.
Yes.
Yeah, there's a big
Just get
chance
into
I
it.
might like I'll hear something that I like is generally disliked. Sometimes I will
Yeah.
fuck with like some like dead ass like public
Dead
just,
ass.
Like,
public
you know,
public just won't fuck with it, but I'm like I kind of like it, guys.
I kinda-
That's
Yeah.
all
Kinda
avant-garde.
cool.
That's why it's
That's
not
also
current.
being contrarian a little.
A little contrarian,
I
but
feel
No,
like
but
you can,
I understand.
Yeah.
It's not. It doesn't have to be.
Yeah,
It's
it's
genuine.
genuine.
It's genuine.
like I genuine. I'll be public about it. Like you know, if it, like going to movies, like
Yeah.
I publicly like love the Final Destination movies. Like those are
People
some of
don't
my
like 'em?
favorite. They don't like.
Because they
well,
get the only
maybe
because they're a
now.
little.
Yeah, now,
nostalgia,
yeah.
but, you know, back then.
Nostalgia merch.
Corniness has ruined that,
That
so
shit
much.
ain't even
Corniness
corny.
has ruined
So okay, I'm gonna get mad. 'Cause
Y'all are corny,
Scream-
bro.
Scream is corny as fuck.
It
Fuck
is.
that movie.
Cheesy.
It's not
It's
even-
so
it's not
bad.
corny, it's
Dude,
cheesy.
It's so
It's that fuck, it's that
bad.
80s cheese.
It's
bruh.
cheesy, not corny.
They
Again,
can't
you
come
gotta
to
get
Final
into it though.
Destination.
You gotta get into it. You gotta be in that
They can't
mindset.
come. No,
Yeah.
they can't come for Final Destination like that, bro. If they
That's
hype
true.
up Scream,
I don't know if
Final
I don't know if the
Destination
same motherfuckers that are shitting on Final Destination
I
are
have,
hyping up Scream.
I have a
bro.
theory
Yeah.
that if Final Destination was an anime, it would probably be well received.
Yeah, probably.
Oh,
100%.
yeah.
Oh my god.
That's
An
like
anime that
90%.
You know, bro, I
Yeah.
swear to God, Final Destination was inspired by this anime.
Oh
wait,
my god.
Wait, now that I'm thinking about it, it might have come out after. But Another, have you ever seen Another?
No.
Oh my gosh, it's like the death scenes in the anime because
Yeah.
spoiler
The
alert,
girl with the
guys.
eye patch?
Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
Let's just tell you the
I'm
whole
not
story.
gonna tell you spoiler, but like the death scenes, it's like a horror anime. It's like a horror anime, and the death scenes in there are like falling down the stairs, and then a teacher drops a pen at the same time, and then the pen bounces, and then
Yeah.
it drops on the kids. It's like that,
Damn.
and it's like I swear to God.
Or
that-
the umbrella going.
oh yeah.
Oh
Oh my God, that shit's fucked up.
Damn, yo, I put a 4 or 5 minute timer and that shit just like literally vanished into thin air. Like we
That's
we
what I was
we're
like.
an hour in.
God
We, like-
damn.
6:35.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Well, viewers, wait, guys. No, I actually have a perfect thing. You should do our outro and then I'll play it.
Yeah, because we gotta show it.
Do our outro and I'm gonna do my
Okay,
joke.
all right. Well, we'll see you guys later. If you guys don't know who Prblm, who Zephrxd is, who
Stefxstefani.
Stefxstefani, you should check them out. And you know, that's human connection right there. You know, you gotta tap into them. Even
We're
if
empaths.
even if you saw them, you're like,
Love you.
even if you saw
love
them, you're
you,
like,
bitch.
you heard them talk, you're like,
I'll
damn,
never
bro, I
stop
low-key don't
loving
fuck
you,
with these
bitch.
people. It's chill, bro. Give it a chance. You know.
Give a chance.
You guys know how to
And
be
we
hard.
love you too. We love anyone who interacts with us.
I don't know.
Oh
How to
my
do
God.
that.
And I hope
Oh, you don't
hope
want to throw the
Yeah.
those signs.
Anyway, let's continue the outro.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Well, guys,
Oh
well,
my
guys,
God.
well,
Those
guys.
signs.
Oh my god.
I really did just oh my gosh, these three
appreciate you
people
guys, for real.
are
Yeah.
just plums. I love
Yeah,
them
right.
so much. But I have to say,
Bountiful plums, juicy, full of information.
I have to just say, guys.
Right.
Wait.
Right. Hey.
We have to go. We're late.